I wasn't even going to record this episode today. I almost forgot. It is literally 7:52 p.m. But then I remembered that I wanted to keep a promise to myself. I'm going to release a podcast episode every Wednesday no matter what, and that's exactly what I'm doing. And that's kind of what today's episode is about too, so let's just get right into it. Lately, I've been seeing everywhere. I feel like everywhere you look on the internet, people are talking about reinventing themselves or rebranding themselves, becoming the best version of themselves. It's on TikTok, it's on YouTube, it's on Instagram, it's on every social media platform. Everyone is talking about glowing up or reinvention or rebranding. And I'm not gonna lie, a lot of people make it look really glamorous online. Like, you can't lie. It really does. But if I'm being honest, that's not how they're making it seem online. That's not really what rebranding or reinventing yourself looks like. At least not for me. Because right now, I feel like I'm in the middle of my own reinvention era. And the reality of it looks a lot messier than the versions people post online about. So today I want to talk about that. I want to talk about the fantasy version of reinventing yourself, the real version, and the truth that nobody really tells you about what it takes to actually change your life. Because if you're listening to this and you feel like you're in the middle, you're in like this middle space, this middle area, this gray area where you're trying to figure out who you are again, or you're trying to just become a better version of yourself, I want you to know that you're not alone in that. So now let me say it. Welcome back to the Bad Brain Podcast. I am Imani, the host of the Bad Brain Podcast. Thank you for joining me, you beautiful human. You beautiful humans. I really appreciate it. I love you. Thank you. I hope you're having a great day, week, month, year. So far, it's March. Can you believe that? That's crazy. Anyway, take it away, Samara. So let me start with the fantasy version of reinvention first. This is what is portrayed online. This is what social media sells us. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Those that girl routines, the ones where people are waking up at 5 a.m. and drinking lemon water as soon as they hop out of bed and journaling for 20 minutes, and then they take a shower, put on their expensive makeup, either go to the gym or go to Pilates. They have like this perfect discipline, perfect skin, and they go to the aesthetically pleasing coffee shops after the gym or Pilates. And then they go back to their perfectly spotless apartment and then go grab a matcha after that. And suddenly they're like just a new person. And I'm not saying those things are bad. They're not bad. People really do live like that. But a lot of people making those videos already have the time and the resources to live that type of lifestyle. A lot of them already have followings. A lot of them work for themselves, and a lot of them have flexible schedules. So they're not living the same everyday life as most people. Not everyone lives like an influencer, and that's okay. Most people who are trying to reinvent themselves, they're dealing with things like money stress and messy environments and kids and jobs they don't really love that much, and responsibilities and habits they're trying not to break. That sounds more realistic for me, at least. That sounds like real life. And that's where the real version of reinvention starts. And for me, the moment I realized I needed to reinvent myself was when I noticed that my entire life had become my son. And don't get me wrong, I love my son more than anything. But I remember realizing one day my whole identity was being his mother. And I started asking myself a question that honestly scared me a little. I asked myself, who am I outside of being his mother? And if I'm being honest, I didn't really know. I didn't know at all, honestly. I did not know at all. But when when he was about a year old, my stepmom started picking him up once a week, one day a week, just to give me a little break. I put quotes around that. And you're going to understand why as I keep talking. And during that time, when he wasn't around, I didn't know what to do with myself. I would literally just sit around waiting for him to come back the entire day. I would just sit there and scroll on my phone or wash bottles or fold his clothes or just do something that is related to him in some way. Doing things that still connected me to the identity of being a mother, even when he wasn't there. And that's when I realized something about myself. I didn't know who I was outside of caring for someone else. And I don't think I had known who I was for a long time. Because if I look back at my life, I've been in relationships since 2013. It is 2026 now. 2020. That is 13 years. So for more than a decade, I've been someone's girlfriend, someone's partner, and then I became someone's mom. So now I'm in this stage of my life where I'm trying to figure out who I am outside of being something to someone else. That's what reinvention looks like for me right now. It's not glamorous. It's actually rebuilding financially. It's working a job I don't necessarily love. It's saving money so I can get a new car because my car was totaled 5 years ago. Some man T-boned me and I haven't gotten a new car since. Anyway, it's saving money so I can get a car again. It's trying to be more disciplined, trying to keep promises to myself, trying to figure out what I actually like, trying to fall back in love with creating and art, trying to understand me, myself, because the truth is, I'm not trying to become the person I was before I had my son. And I'm not trying to become the person I was when my life revolved around men. If I'm being 1,000% honest, I don't even know who that person really was. Right now, I'm just learning who I am. And that's messy. It's messy in a good way. Motherhood has also changed my identity in ways I didn't expect. Because after I had my son, I went through postpartum depression. I actually want to make a episode about that for all the moms out there who may be dealing with it. But if you want to hear that, let me know. Anyway, I remember saying something once that sounded dramatic, and it's exactly how I felt at the time. I said that when my son was born, all my happiness, every single ounce of happiness I had inside of me came out with him. He was my ball of sunshine, my ball of happiness, because outside of him, I felt empty. I felt like a shell of myself. There were times where I neglected myself in ways that I didn't even realize at the time. Like choosing to buy diapers instead of things I actually needed. Or buying him a $25 bottle of shampoo for his cradle cap while I use $1 bar of soaps. Because I knew that he needed the soap, well, he needed the shampoo more than I needed actual body wash. And that's not something people talk about enough. How easy it is to completely lose yourself in motherhood. How your priorities shift so much that you disappear in the process. And it took me a long time to even notice that. But slowly, little by little, I started doing small things for myself again. Like deciding to leave him with his dad and go to a museum, or go book shopping, going out to eat, even if it was something quick like grabbing a salad from Chopped. I used to work there. Buying something small for myself because I wanted it and not feeling guilty about it. And those things didn't magically fix everything. It didn't. Because I still felt guilty doing those things. I felt guilty leaving him. I felt guilty not being there all the time. But those things, they did help me reconnect with parts of myself that I had forgotten about. So if you're in your reinvention era right now, there's a few things I want you to know. The first thing is this. Reinvention is slower than you think. Social media makes it look like your life can change in 30 days. I mean, it probably can, but realistically, it may take longer than that. Because in real life, it doesn't work that quickly. For most people at least, and I'm speaking from experience. I know there are people out here who've changed their lives in 30 days, but for me at least, for most people in this process, it takes years. It's slow, it's uncomfortable, and sometimes it feels like nothing is changing at all. And the second truth is that you will struggle with your old habits because the old version of you doesn't disappear overnight. Certain habits are hard to break. And like I know I said this a bunch of times, but I'm speaking from experience. And sometimes you'll feel like you're moving forward one day and then backslide the next. And that's okay. That's normal. Do not beat yourself up about that. The third truth is that you don't become a completely new person overnight. You slowly become a better version of yourself through small, decisions, through discipline, through consistency, through self-awareness. And for me, that looks like noticing my habits in real time, noticing when I'm doom scrolling, and noticing when I'm breaking promises to myself, which I haven't been doing as much. And noticing when I'm not taking care of myself the way I should, and trying to correct those things little by little. Not perfectly, but intentionally. That's the key. Because reinvention isn't about becoming someone else. It's about becoming the person you keep telling yourself you want to be. Do you want to be the person who keeps breaking promises to themselves? The person who says they're going to do one thing and not do it at all? Make up excuses on why you didn't do the thing? Do you want to be the person who gets walked over? Do you want to be the person who never changes at all? I doubt it. And I want to end it with this. My life right now is far from perfect, but I can see things changing slowly but surely. I feel like I say that in every episode, slowly but surely. Because things are changing for me slowly but surely. I have a new job after not having a job for 2.5 years. I'm training for a promotion I just got. I'm saving money so that I can get a car again after not having one for years. I'm building this podcast, and even though it's not growing as fast as people think it should, or I think it should, I'm proud of myself for staying consistent with something that matters to me. I'm becoming more self-aware, more disciplined, more intentional. And I am actually proud of myself for that. Like, I need to give myself a pat on the back. I don't congratulate myself enough. And most importantly, I feel like I'm healing. And you know what? I'm not even going to say I feel like I'm healing. I know that I'm healing. I see the growth. I don't think that this is a reinvention of myself. I think this is just another era of my life. A more self-aware era. A more mature era. An era where I'm finally learning who I am. And if you're in the stage of your life too, where you're rebuilding and healing and rediscovering yourself, or just rediscovering that you're just a totally different person than who you thought you were, just know that you're not alone in this. And maybe reinventing yourself isn't about becoming perfect. Maybe it's just about not giving up on yourself and continuing to move forward. But all right, I'm done yapping now. If you want to talk more about this topic, you can connect with me on Instagram. I would love to talk more about it. I would love to tell you more about my story to see if it helps. And I would love to hear your story too. We can compare and take notes. But if you do want to do that, my Instagram is linked below in the description. Again, you're not alone in this. You're rebuilding your life. I'm rebuilding my life. We're doing it together. We're a community right now. We're helping each other out. But thank you for listening. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the episode. You beautiful, wonderful, amazing humans. Thank you for listening. Again, I'm Imani, the host. I just hit my chest. I know you heard that. I'm Imani, the host of the Bad Brain podcast. And I want you to continue to have a great day, week, month, and year. And again, please take it away, Samara. And one more thing, I am actually in a new recording area. I know you can't see it because this is audio only, but once I get this space together, I'm so excited to turn this into a video podcast. Like, really excited. So excited. You guys are like, oh my god, your space looks so cool. I'm gonna be like, I know, thank you. You want to come hang out? No, I'm just kidding. That's kind of weird. Creepy, kind of. Anyway, that's all I want to say. Have a great day.